Where are we? We are in Java. Fourth sprint. Today we will complete with backend queries. So don't miss tomorrow's session. So tomorrow I'm planning to introduce JDBC. So whomsoever is here, so don't miss today's entire session and tomorrow's session. So tomorrow I will cover both 5 and 6. 5 and 6 are programmability connecting database to retrieve data, which is JDBC connection, connecting your Java with backend MySqL. So based on that, you have a challenge as well as mini project. So don't miss tomorrow's session and try to complete all the sprint till today on today itself. After introduction to DBMS, RDBMS, followed with DDL, DML, followed with DQL. So today also we are going to continue with DQL, but we are going to retrieve the data. Select query is going to use against multiple table, retrieving data from multiple tables. So as I said, today is the last day is about MySQL queries alone. Tomorrow we will go for JDBC, connecting Java with backend with all the queries, both DDL, DML and DQL. Based on that, you will have a project. So create a banking application project with MySQL and JDBC API. And you have professional skills. First professional skills in this week. I'll let you know about the professional skills date and time. So the topic for today's discussion is retrieving data from multiple tables. So till yesterday, we were retrieving the data. We are filtering the data. We are finding the aggregate functions of data with one table. So if I want to pull the data from multiple tables, 2 or more tables, what concepts will be used? How can we retrieve the employee name, department name, project name from database table? Assume like there were 3 tables: employee table, project table, and department table. From employee table, I want to retrieve employee name. From department table, I want to retrieve department name, and project table, I want to retrieve project name. So I have 3 tables. In 3 different tables, I want to retrieve 3 different data. Name, here department name, here project name. Yeah, I want to know which employee of which department is doing which project. Is it required or not? It is required. So if you are into applications, you take Flipkart. So from various tables, I want to retrieve the data and I want to view the data in front of me. So being a supervisor, I want to know which employee of which department is assigned to which project. But all the data is located in different table. Let it be. The data from different tables can be easily fetched at the same time if there is a relation between them. Do we have a relation between employee table, department table, and project table?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, department ID.
What relation?
Foreign key.
One second. Yeah, I think department table is a parent table. So which is having department ID. So department ID is a primary key of department table, which is a foreign key in employee table. And yeah, here it will be project ID. So project ID is a primary key of project table, which is foreign key in employee table. Department ID is a primary key, which is foreign key in department table. I don't want to relate, they related it. See here, department ID, foreign key in employee, primary key in department. Same thing is applicable for department and project, but in project name, sorry, it is project name. all the three table is having relationship. Yeah, relationship can be exhibited in DB entities with the help of foreign key relationship. Can you search the information that is required to access multiple table? So one is, if I have a relation, I can retrieve the data. So what will happen if I don't have a relation at all? That is also possible. So with foreign key relationship, attribute of one table is exist in another table. If attributes is not exist, then what we need to do? So if I want to connect employee and table and department table, there should be one column to be matched. So in employee table, I'm having department ID. In department table also, I'm having department ID. So at least one column should be there, common in both table. If it is not, if there is no common also, what needs to be done? Let's discuss. So we are going to retrieve data from multiple tables. So in order to retrieve from multiple table with relationship with the help of concept called as joins, we have a MySqL term called as join, which is used to combine two or more table with foreign key relationship. If you don't have relationship also, I can pull the record from one table and combine with another table with the help of subqueries. So we will be discussing about joins, subqueries, and the last topic is views. Views is something different. We will discuss at the end. So joins and subqueries are the concept which is used to combine the data in different tables. So we have various types of joins. To retrieve data from multiple tables in MySQL, we have joins. Very, very important. You can apply joins using common attribute between the table. So whenever if I have multiple table, both the tables should have common attribute. Then I can use join. So there were various types of join. Inner join, outer, natural, cross, and self. Let us explore on all type of join. Introductory part is clear. Shall we get into the topic?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So there were three topics for today. One is joins. For join, it's mandatory. Both the tables should have common attribute, that is common column. Subquery, not required, but you can combine two different tables. Query in another query is called a subquery. And the third topic is view. So view is different. Even though it comes under this combination, but the ideology behind this view is different. So when you, okay, let's start with joins. Joins are used to combine two or more tables together. So here, whatever the columns I want to display it, we will retrieve the column from multiple table and combine it together and display whatever the required output I want in my application. So again, I'm repeating, to join two or more table together, you need a common column. You need a column that should have a common value. Even the column name can be differs. In one place, I can give as dipt ID. In the other place, I can give dipt code. But the data should matches. When I talk about common column, it's not based on name of the column. I'm talking about the data. So one table data, one column data should be there in another table. I'll repeat again, to join two or more table together, you need a column that should have some common value. So mostly primary key column of one table and foreign key column of another table mostly will use same data. In such situation, I can combine the table together with the help of joins. Logically speaking, whenever if you have relationship alone, the data will be common. So department ID will be there in department table as well as employee table. For sure, there will be some common data. In such situation, I can use combining using joins. So join is something opposite to normalization. So what is normalization? What we will do in normalization?
Split the tables into smaller tables.
Yeah. So one table is splitted into 2 or 3 tables. But in join, we are joining. We are combining n number of tables into one table result. We cannot say it is that it is, but I can just relate. It's an opposite of normalization, or it goes with denormalized concept. All right. So there were various types of joins. So few joins are really useful and few we will not use, but it's there. So the most important join is inner join. Inner join is also called as join. By default, when I use the term join, my machine will refer inner join only. So inner join, listen carefully, retrieves record from multiple table after comparing the value present in common columns. So one table common column will be compared with another table column common column. Only it will retrieve the row which satisfies the join condition. So whenever the value exists common in one table and another table, those matching records alone will be fetched and it will be displayed in my inner join. So I may have an employee with some 10 departments. So those, but department is having some 20 departments. So whichever the employee's department ID is matching with department's department ID, those 10 matching records alone will be displayed. So both the tables should consist of same column and same data. Only if data matches, it will retrieve the record. So both the tables should consist of data, it should match. And we have a unique syntax for this join query. Listen carefully. So let's assume I'm just typing syntax alone. So let's assume I have table 1 and I have table 2. So today also we are going to deal with BQL. So select my first table dot first column, whichever I want. In my first table, I want second column. In first table, I want fourth column, comma. In second table, I want second column. In second table, I want third column. Don't get confused. We are gonna to combine two tables. To avoid the ambiguity, confusion for my machine, I should use table name dot column name, because there should not be a conflict in column names. So which table you want to retrieve which column, that you should call along with table name and column name. Is that clear? In first table, I am calling 3 columns, first, second, and fourth column. In table 2, I am calling second and third column. It's based on my requirement. Listen, you should use from keyword. From table 1, listen carefully, join table 2. As I said, join by default, if I give join, my machine will take inner join only. Very important. Here we will use a term, keyword called as on table 1 dot column 1 is matching with table 2 dot column 5. I assume like column 1 in first table is same as column 5 in second table. There should be matching record. Assume like both are project code. Here project table, here employee table. Whomsoever is doing the respective project data matches, then it will retrieve the record. So don't forget these things. So you should use table name and then column name to represent the respective column. You can use third table also, no problem. And don't forget to use join keyword and on keyword. On, for sure, you should give matching record. Assume like column 1 of table 1 matches with column 5 of table 2. So join and on terms to be used with inner join. We will follow the same syntax. So by default, if I use the word join, it indicates inner join. If I go for left, I'll go with the term left outer join. So likewise, we have right outer join. Let's get into outer join. Is that clear? Inner join.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is mandatory. We have product. I have department with 4 departments. I have faculty with 3. It will match. One second. What example they took? They took customer and address. I'll see one second because my data it's matching. I can. Many records are there. Okay. I cannot proceed with these table because everywhere the data gets matched. So I'll take my product table itself. Or I will take product table. Give me 1 minute time. So create table, customer, customer ID. Customer ID, customer name, customer mobile number. Product purchased. Customer ID is 1. Customer name. Customer mobile number and product purchased is 301. Two, three. So let it be 305, 309. Okay, so let us use this table. So I have a product table and customer table. The matching record between product table and customer table is product ID. So in a product table, I have some 10 records. In customer, I have only 3, and each customer is gonna to buy the product. So I want to retrieve in my with the total sales record, whichever the customer has bought the product which is having in my showroom. So I want to know how many customers have bought the product in my showroom, and I want to know the price of the product. Everything is possible. Let me add one more. And 205. So listen, so out of total sales data, as we all know, so these customers have purchased 4 different products. Out of these 4 products, I want to know whichever the product is from my showroom. So if you look into customer table and product table, 2 records will be matching, 301 and 205. 301 and 205 remaining are not matching. So if I want to retrieve the record from both the table, if I want to join both the table, I want to know which customer have bought the product from my showroom, because my showroom will matches with my product ID. So with that you can retrieve with the help of join. So select, let's assume customer table is a first table. From customer table I want to retrieve customer ID. From customer table I want to retrieve customer name. And from customer table I want to retrieve product purchased code. Comma, in my product table, I want to know which product the customer has been purchased. I want to know the detailed about products. So I can use product name. And I want to know the price of my product. And if I want to know about the stock available of the product, from which table? Is it visible, guys? Are you with me? The query is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
from customer join, if I give join or if I give inner join, both are same. So default inner join is a join can be inner join can be implemented with both the term inner join as well as join. So I want to join with the second table on. The matching condition is customer dot, in customer, the column name is product purchased is equal to, if I made any spelling mistake, please let me know. In product table, it is product ID. Check. One second. Guys, give me 1 minute. Right. So let me execute the query. Yes, this is an expected output and the output is in front of you. So guys, listen. So from customer table, customer ID, name, I'll come to know who are all the customers have purchased the product, which is in my showroom. And apart from that, more details about the product, like its name, its price, its stock also I can retrieve. So customer name and ID is retrieved from first table and remaining all are from the second table. Is it meaningful?
Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me,
Mm.
I didn't get this.
So which part? Concept, theory part, or the topic, or the demo?
This query only.
So what is the topic we were discussing?
Joins.
So what is join?
Join is basically to retrieve data from 2 or more tables.
2 or more table. Here, the 2 table which I have taken to illustrate the demo is product table and customer table.
Yeah.
And what is the basic rule for achieve join?
It should have one time.
Matching.
Yeah.
So till yesterday I was working with product 2 table. So today I created a customer table with matching record. So I have a product table with all the products which I'm going to sell in my showroom. Apart from that, I'm getting the sales data with customer information. Each customer is going to buy certain products. Those details also put there. Both the table, I have a matching column, which is product ID. Here it is in the name of product ID and here it is in the name of product purchased. So I want to know which customer has bought the product from my showroom. So which is matching with the product ID of my showroom. In such situation, you can use joins. Please look into line number 22 and 23. So I am going to retrieve records from multiple tables. To avoid the ambiguity between the column names, always you need to refer the column name with table name.
Yeah.
So from first table, I want 3 columns. From second table, I want 3 columns. So you refer a column name with table name. So from table 1, inner join or join keyword table to on whichever the column you're going to match with first table and second table. So when I execute, so out of 4 customer, 2 customer have bought the product which is matching with the product ID of second table. So the product is having 10 records. So 2001 to 6, 301, 302, 401, 402. Whereas the customer is having 301, 305, 9, 205. Out of that, 305 and 9 is not there in product table. So only 301 and 205 is matching. Those matching records alone displayed. Adesh, is that clear?
Yes, ma'am, clear, ma'am.
So we this is one way. If you feel the table name is too long, how can I use table name every time? So we have an option of creating an alias name. So instead of referring customer every time, you can create an alias name. Guys, listen. For customer, I'm creating an alias name C, and product, I'm creating an alias name P. Just give a space and create. So wherever you want to refer your customer, go for the character C or any alias name to reduce the large query. So if you feel like your table name is too long, so in order to use a long table name, you can use the alias name of table. This is also correct. You will get the same output. In join, you can use alias name. What is that? The other name for your table, a short name. Shall I continue with the next type of join?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, here join is optional. If I execute, I'll get the same output. No error. So inner join or join is matches with the common column. Common column data values. Outer join. We have 2 categories of outer, maybe sometimes 3, left, right, and full join. So we have categories of outer join. Outer join displays the result set consists of all rows from one table. So if I use 2 table, so one table will display all the record, the other table will display only the matching record. The columns which is not exist in the second table, where I want to display all the records in first table. In such situation, it will be filled with null. So we have left outer join and right outer join. Left outer join means all the record of left table will be displayed, but in right table only matching record. So right outer join, all the record in right table, whichever is matching with the left table alone will be displayed. So this output will give you the better clarity on this outer join. Listen, I'm going to use the same. I'm going to use customer and I'm going to use product. Instead of inner join, I'm going to use left outer join. So what is my left table? My left table is my customer table. So I will get all the records of customer table. Apart from that, whichever is matching with the right table product, I will get the result. Do I have Madhu and Nikhil product details in my showroom detail? No. So I have only details of 301 and 205. So those details will be displayed. Whereas these 2 products are not there in my showroom. So it will display with none. All the records of left table, but matching record of right table. If right table not exist data, it will fill with null. The opposite. Instead of left, I'm giving right. Right means right indicates my product table. Now I will get 10 records. So out of 10 records, I'll get all the 10 records of product. So whichever the product the customer has bought, the customer details will be there. I don't have customer for the remaining products. Those are all filled with null. So 1 second, I'll check this because all the time this comparison will happen between Oracle, MySQL and SQL Server. I'll try for full outer join. So, full.
Ma'am, and check in Google, it shows full join not supported by MySQL.
By MySQL, then it's fine. Because we have 3 categories, left, right and full. They specified only left and right. So I thought let's try.
Ma'am, union join?
It is a kind of. But we will discuss union and intersect. No need to have that common. Union is not required that common attribute. But full outer is not supported. If I mention the word, guys, give me a minute. Outer, it's thrown an error. If I mention full join on customer product ID, which should matches with customer product ID. Oh, only it is retrieving only the matching record. I'll remove everything. I'll remove customer name and customer ID because it is not matching. I think I want to remove everything. Product 2 dot product ID. Then it's an idiotic logic. No.
Full outer join.
Outer thrown an error. And it's, by the way, it's not supporting. Leave, go for left and right alone. We will be having a minute difference between one RDBMS package, the other one. So just take 2 categories, left and right. In your practice time, you just try all possibilities for full. And let's come to a conclusion. So guys, listen. Next type of join is natural join. Natural join is a join that automatically joins the column of one table at another on the basis of common column. It can be a combination of left or right. So you no need to use on reference. Guys, listen. Select star from first table, join second table. That's it. You no need to give on. By default, automatically, whichever the column is getting matched, it will match and it will display the output. So you can combine two tables together with the help of common columns without selecting any common column explicitly. I don't want to give a condition. My machine will automatically consider the common column, whatever the data type I have specified in both the tables, it will take a common column and it will refer the output. Let's give a try. I want everything. So let me give for the asterisk. So select star from customer, join product 2. Can you see what is the output you are getting? $40 records. 10 into 4, 40 records. All the table. Let me sort based on product ID. So if you take, I have 201 product ID. So with 201 product ID in product table matches with all the 4 customers. So I have 10 product ID. Each 10 product ID matches with all the 4 customer ID. Or in the other word, you can say I have 4 customers. Each customer, all the 10 products has been matched and it is retrieving. It is a kind of full outer join. So if you want to combine one table with all the records in other table, you can use natural join. No condition, nothing.
Ma'am, we didn't use natural join, we just wrote join.
We didn't use?
We didn't write natural join.
Inner join and natural join, the terms are optional. If I don't specify on, my machine will take default join as natural join.
Okay.
The word join is enough.
So it will automatically identify.
Identify the common and it will match. That's what I'm telling. Here 4 records, there it is 10 record. So it will combine all the each and every record with the other one. Okay, a similar kind of a Cartesian product. Have you ever come across with the term Cartesian? Cross join, Cartesian join.
Yeah, ma'am.
So one table record will be combined with all the table in all the record in the other table. Oh yeah, as you said, natural is optional. I'll use natural.
Natural join means self join, no?
Self join is different.
Okay.
Self join is one table is gonna to join itself, although it's an idiotic join. So again, I'm repeating, if you don't have on keyword, so join and natural join representing same. Although certain joins will be idiotic nature, I don't want to skip that. Cross join, natural join will go in the same pace. Self join, as name duplicits, a table is gonna to join itself. It allows one row of table to correlate with other row of same table. I will not use customer and product. I'll be using customer itself. Select whatever the records you want from the first table with same table, and you can go with the condition. So if you want, you can add a condition. So let's assume I want customer ID, customer name. Oh, I will use that alias name. Guys, please come with me. I'll use this. I'm going to use customer join customer only. C1. C1 dot mobile number from how many records? 16 records I'll get. See guys, natural join, cross join, and the last one self join will go in the same pace. Select whatever the record from customer, join, same table customer. If you want to have a difference, you can go for alias name. So I am having 4 customer. So 4 customer record. So customer ID, name, product purchased of first customer, Siddharth 301, will be combined with remaining all the customers' mobile number. So 4 into 4, I will be getting the output of 16 rows. One second. So whenever if you want to join a table to the same table, then we will use the concept of self join. See guys, mostly we will use outer join and inner join. These types of join exist, but rarely we will implement in our application. So let's move on to the next topic, subquery. From name onwards, any guessing? Subquery, the
Query
word
index.
subquery. The word subquery indicates
Query inside a query.
query.
query inside another query. So query that is gonna that contains another query as a part. Mostly we will apply with where class or having class. It's called as subquery. So we have so many rules with subquery. So you should take care when you are writing your subquery. Care must be taken. Additional care must be taken on thinking about what would be the output of my inner query, and that is gonna to give us an input for my outer query. Subquery can be always comes along with the part of where class or having class. So the query holds another query is called as outer query. The query is coming as a part of another query is called as inner query. Always inner query executes and it produces the output, and based on that output, my outer query is gonna to start execute. So let me take this table, product table and customer table. Select star from product where product ID is equal to. So this is my outer query. So I want to retrieve the product details from my product table. I will retrieve customer. So I will retrieve I'll retrieve the details from customer table whose product purchased is matches with. I think it works. So the line number 48 is example for subquery. And out of this left hand side falls under outer query and the right hand side falls under inner query. Guys, listen carefully. Always the inner query will execute and inner query always wants to return a scalar value. What do you mean by the term scalar value? Is the word is new to you? According to this demo, it needs to return one scalar value or one single value. What is the idea behind this?
The value should be positive.
Yes. Deepesh, you want to give a try? What would be the output of my inner query? My inner query will return single scalar value. One single value.
Two.
In after some time we will be discussing what will happen. My inner query returns more than one value. But as of now, when you have equal to, ensure that equal to, if you specify equal to, my inner query needs to triggers and it needs to produce one single scalar value. So if you take inner, tell me.
The Dell Precision 35511.
I want to retrieve product ID from product table whose stock is greater than or equal to 35. So it will take product table and it will check whichever the stock is greater than or equal to 75. So we have one record. So it will match with the record and it will return 201. So this line is equivalent to this line. So always my inner query, when you have equal to symbol, it should resultant equal to or any logical operator, greater than, less than, it should resultant as one single value. So it matches with 201. So yeah. And whichever the customer is purchasing the record 201. Oh my God, 201 is not there. 301.
Change the stock. Change the stock.
26. So 301 and 205.
Per 15.
I'll go with the stock as 20. So I want to check whichever the product is having stock 20. So it will return 205. So when I execute, it will retrieve the customer record holding the stock 20 in my product table and that details will be retrieved from my customer. That's what I'm telling. Line number 48 is equivalent to line number 50. But instead of 205, we are using one more subquery. Can I use third query instead of 20 here? Can I use nested query?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Possible.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. We have used
Ensure that
archiving.
what value it is going to return from my query. So let us start with one single value return, and then what needs to be do when it is returning more than one single value. So if you want to match with the column in an outer query with any of the value in a inner query. So inner query is retrieving many values. In such situation, I can use the word in n number of values. So again, I'm repeating. So depend upon the query which we are writing, so which we want, a subquery can return one or more values. If you are going for relational operator, ensure that care must be taken. So can I give 205, 206? It's practically not possible with relational operator. So when you are using equal to, ensure that you are properly handling. It should return always. Subquery needs to return one single value. Assume like my subquery is returning many values.
Just make it greater than 20.
Greater than 20, correct. I'm about to make. So greater than 20. So if you take greater than 20, so I have nearly, okay, or greater than 50. So I have nearly or greater than equal to 50. How many records? Some 6 records. I cannot put equal to here. So select product ID from product where stock is greater than 50. So it will return 5 product ID. I cannot use equal to. Equal to will be an error. So in such situation, I can use the keyword in, space in or exist. Oh my God, did I made any spelling mistake in exist? Yes. Is it not a keyword? It's a keyword. Where exist? So whenever if it is written in, so when it is returning more than one value, if my subquery is returning more than one value, don't go for this operator. So you need to use in. What is the meaning? So whichever the product purchased ID matches with the IDs which is available greater than 50, all the customer details will be retrieved. For that, I will check my data. So 301 and 205. 301 is holding 26, 205 is holding 20. Oh God, let me go for less.
Make it greater than 20.
Or less than. I'm sorry, here it is an error, no? Put it as less than here. Greater than or equal to 20 or less than. So I'll be getting some 5-6 records, or 5 record is greater than 50. So 5 record is less than 50. So out of 5, whichever is matching with the product ID of customer table, it will retrieve. So out of 4 customer, 2 is matching. So it is returning. Or even if you think I want an exact count, that is also possible. 301 and 205. 26 and 20. So guys, listen, this will return 5 product ID. Out of 5 product ID, I'm sorry, here. So whichever matches, it will return. In, In is not new to us. It is something like equivalent to using or an equal operator. In whichever the product ID matches, it will return. So what do you mean by the term exist?
Exist in the
subquery. So it will return true false alone. Exist will return a boolean true false. Guys, listen. We have exist, we have not exist. Listen carefully. In will be matches equal to with product ID, that 301 and 205. But exist is opposite. I am gonna to select product ID, whichever the product ID is less than or equal to 50. So I'll get 5 product ID. Any of the product ID is matches with customer? Yes, true. Exist will return the output of all the left side query. It will return left query output when the data exists in right query. If I execute, yes, I have a product ID where the stock is less than 50. In such situation, it will return all my customer details. Do I have a stock which is greater than 100?
No, ma'am.
No, the maximum stock is 75. In such situation, it not exist. So it is returning null. If the inner query is true, it will return outer query as such. As such, the data of outer query. If the inner query is false, it will not return the output of outer query. Exist will return true or false. You need to use exist clause with subquery whether the subquery returns at least one matching record. Always exist will return true or false. You can use not exist also to check the subquery is not returning the matching. So in is used to if you wish to match the column value in the outer query with any of the value. If it matches with any of the record in, it is something equivalent to or, whether product ID equal to 201 or 205 or 206, something like that. Whereas exist, if the record exists, at least with one record, outer query data will be triggered and you will get the output. If it does not exist, it will not produce the output. So subquery, outer query and inner query, you should know where to use equal to, where to use in and exist. And syntax slightly differs for exist. No particular column. If the data exists, it will return the output. If the data not exist, it will not return. So if you want to enable some guarantee kind of a thing. So always if my inner query returns the value, if I have that guarantee, I can use exist. So we will use exist to check if the inner query returns the value or not. If inner query returns true, outer query will be executed. That means it is returning with some data. If the inner query is returning false, that is no data is present, so it will return null. If the inner query is null, it not exist, my outer query will not be triggered. Can I use 3 inner query? Please look into this example. They started with select query. Select star from unknown follow. Please analyze this query. It's a courier call. I need to attend. Sorry. So guys, analyze the query. I'm sharing the reference note for your self-study. Give me 2 minutes time. So I'm sharing a notes, go for a self-reading. I'm sharing it right away in Mentor Notes channel. So please read the theory of joins and subqueries. We'll continue with views.